one of the things that we wanted to specifically talk about today, of course, is the Albert Burns legacy, which we administer on your behalf through Kent Community Foundation. But can you just tell us a bit about how that came into being?
Yeah, it was a bit of a rarity. I mean, I am a step removed from it because Albert wasn't my client, so I didn't get to meet him. But he is well known through the firm, and what we do with you is also well known through the firm. Long and short, he approached us to put a will together. He didn't have any immediate family members that he wanted to benefit, but he was absolutely keen to leave a lasting legacy for children. And so a will was put together that included this legacy. And he passed away, I think it was in 2013. Now, he was known as Big Albert because he was 6'7", and he operated a chain of laundrettes in Thanet. And I think the estate fund was about 700,000 or so. And again, within the will, there was a particular bequest to build a centre for children in Goa. And we started administering the charity from the will. And the first thing I believe we did was to build this centre, which is the Albert Good News Centre in Goa, as I say. And I think we put about 70,000 towards the building of that centre. But what we then found was that, we're not geared up, we're not set up to run a charitable organization or a charitable trust in practice. I think we probably tried and started to, and you then run into all sorts of problems, which is, okay, well, how do you assess which charities to benefit? And how do you then cope with all the inquiries that you then receive? And I think our marketing manager in Preston, he was aware of Kent Community Foundation, and I think he turned to you for help. And with great relief, you were able to provide the support and assistance, and as I call it, take on all the heavy lifting, leaving us with the fun part. But I think the fund, I think there was match funding that increased the fund. It's now over about 1.1, 1.2
That's right.
million.
Yeah.
And most recently, I know that we gave about 25,000 to local charities in Thanet. And so every year we get an email from two of the partners that are involved, Robert and Richard, telling us what they're doing and what they're supporting. So yeah, they get the fun part. They get to sit with you guys and decide which charities to support. And I think the charities are primarily, the funding or the gifting is from interest off the fund, so it doesn't really deplete, which then meets what Albert wanted, which was the lasting legacy.
And that's right, Sam. I think that's a good point, because when Ian approached us to ask us to administer the fund at the time, we happened to have an endowment match programme going on, which meant I think at the time it was a 50% match, so we matched up to 50%. It wasn't a pound for pound, but it was a 50% match, and therefore it actually became an endowment fund with us, which, as you say, meant that it wasn't just the 700,000 that was being depleted year on year, and therefore, obviously eventually it would be gone. The fact was that at that level of donation, we were able to invest it, which means that we've given out a significant amount of money, and the capital has also grown as well. Plus, also you had the match. So, in terms of you doing the right thing by your client, being the sole executor of a will when someone doesn't have a family, giving it to us to manage and invest meant that you maximised that the wishes of your particular client, I think, which is the important thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's you never really appreciate the size of the tasks before you until you start trying to do it, he says. So I think, from a risk perspective, we absolutely did the right thing. And yeah, in terms of meeting the legacy and his wishes, absolutely spot on. the fact that he has left this lasting legacy. And I've said to you in the past that it's not fair because Robert and Richard get all the fun. They get to sit and be involved in something nice, takes them away from the normal desk duties, and they've got something to look forward to every year. And they don't want to let go of it, he says.
Yeah.
But I think it is a nice thing, and it's nice to be involved in it. It's nice to see the impact that it has with the local charities, and to see you know, see it sort of put into effect.